ready for more. First turn and make it for the jackaloon. They get the slicey dicey for making.
A little over a year ago, I reviewed one of these Shercos. I came to the conclusion at the time that it was the most bad street legal supermoto you could possibly buy. I liked it so much I ended up buying one. But is it the most bad supermoto on the market anymore? Stark Varg may have upset that a little bit with their 80 horsepower SM bike they just came out with, but I'm not actually sure it's that good of a deal. There's some shortcomings on that bike that I don't think people are realizing. And I'm sorry, but I think it's just unnecessarily expensive. Is that just me trying to compensate for my Sherco here? Oh, you're okay, buddy, you're still pretty. Or am I onto something? I don't know. When the dual sport one came out, my big criticism was it doesn't have an onboard charger. The way that bike charges is the stand it comes with, which means it's a bike you're going to ride till the battery's dead and then you're done. You're going to have to ride this thing in a loop from your garage back to your garage, from your truck back to your truck. Someone lost their hat. Is that you? Furthermore, I don't expect it to actually have that great of range. That thing's got what, a 7.2 amp hour battery. It's the same as a Zero FX or Supermoto. And here's the thing, Stark Varg, as cool as they are with their man buns, they're not inventing new batteries. They're just packaging batteries. Panasonic makes batteries, okay? Like, not even like Honda's trying to produce their own batteries, okay? My point of that is to say that, like, we kind of know what techs is existing out there. We kind of know what you can expect them to do already.
The total range of this bike on one charge is 40 miles.
Now, there's two things that Stark Varg has done to try to put people's mind at ease. They've put out several videos of them sort of showing real world sort of scenarios of people riding around and how long they can go. And then the other one was showing their charger. We'll get back to the charger that they made in a second here. They have like a video, it's like a 3-hour long video trying to show like some real world riding of this thing. I used to tell people back in the day, like, oh man, yeah, we'd be out riding our Supermotos sometimes over like 3-4 hours. People go, God, how many, you must have done so many miles. It's like, oh, we did like 100 miles. To be fair, is a good argument for an electric supermoto. Like, yeah, sometimes that does work out, but here's the thing. In that video where the guy makes it go that long, he's putting it the whole time. He's barely on it. I'm talking about like supermoto rides where we do like 100 miles, and it's like 100 miles of like dicking around, you know? In my experience with electric bikes, and when you ride them a little bit aggressive, the battery goes so fast. Even the Ultra Redshift, I took one of those out. I think the battery was in the 90s. I rode it for 15 minutes. It was like under 50%. It was in the 40s, I want to say. Like, I remember thinking, like, this shouldn't be this bad. But I've experienced the same thing on Zeros. Like a lap around the block, and you'll be shocked how fast you can plummet that battery. I'm not convinced that you're going to actually get anything worth a shit out of this thing as far as miles. I think it's gonna be pretty bad. There's also the video they put up with the guys on the highway, but the camera's like this the whole time and you can't actually see the speed he's going. I have no idea. I would love to know what your average speed was on that test. Maybe over there in Europe things are a little bit closer and tighter, but over here this is gonna be a big deal. For me to go meet up with the boys and go do a supermoto ride, if I want to ride out 60-70 highway miles, at best I'm doing that. I can't do the ride. But that's all right, because Stark Varg announced this new very amazing, wonderful thing. Wow, how dare you. They haven't added a charger on the vehicle. They've got one you can take with you. It'll fit in a backpack. Now look, if this charger was the greatest thing in the world, I still think this is a way to do it. Make the thing attached to the bike. Come on, guys. Maybe it's like a piece on the front of the frame or something, like if you could squeeze it in there where like the front wheel doesn't hit it, and like it's a little unit we can like unbolt and take off, and like, oh, I'm going to the track, I need ultimate lightness. You know, in my opinion, if I'm weighing that thing, I'm weighing it, and then I'm weighing my backpack and the charger and whatever cables and adapters I need. Oh, it fits in backpack. Well, what if I'm okay with bringing a backpack, but you know, now my backpack is 99% full of your charger? This is just a stupid situation. This is not the way to do it. Let's talk about this charger. This is not like a super fast charger. I don't think you should get the idea that you're gonna like pull in with your buddy on his gas bike over to the charger and like start charging your bike while you have a coffee or some. By the time you get done having that and f***ing your boyfriend, that you're gonna get back on the bike and go ride. No, you're not. That's not even like the biggest problem with it. It's a weird ass plug that's not at like charge stations. I was using one of the charge apps just to see if you could even find one of those around here. You can't. That's not a plug that exists around here. They're not like not around in North America. It's just like not a common thing to find. Although they make adapters, not like directly for like any of the charge structure stuff that you would think they would have. But I mean, I was able to like, I think figure out a way to like get some adapter with some thing. I'm still not convinced that that's gonna work, because if you just plug like an adapter into like a charger like that from another charger, very 50-50 if it's gonna initialize. That thing is looking for something that you're not giving it. What's the battery doing? And the charger's going, no, just give me the power and amperage, I'll figure it out, right? But it doesn't understand that. And there's gonna be people that are gonna show up at charge stations and be like, all right, how do I use? No, you don't. And I know people are going to do that because I know the crowd. I've been dealing with this crowd for a long time. A bunch of us are kind of morons. Fly by the seat of their pants and go, oh, I'll work it out when I get there. Crowd of wing it. And this isn't going to be a wing it situation. This is going to be a, hey, this doesn't work. Between the battery pack and the charger, this is going to be a limited range vehicle. The other issue that I have with this bike is it's expensive, okay? And look, this thing is like $12,999 something. You know, it's not cheap either. But this thing is crazy equipped. And so is the Stark Varg in a lot of ways. So I'm not mad at some of the stuff like, you know, your high dollar suspension, your brakes, your this and that. But there's a lot of things I think they're just unnecessary on the bike. I watched the video where they unbox this thing and like assemble it. Well, the first thing I saw when they unbox it, there's a toolbox that comes with it. Is this true? Anybody with a Stark Varg can like tell me, is this the reality? It comes with this toolbox, like really nice tools in it and like a torque wrench and all this stuff. Guys, come the f on. A lot of this, by the way, with a lot of the things about this bike is like the whole marketing thing with the dude in the man bun and the other guy who's like, I'm the smart British guy.
But perhaps the most powerful thing about the Varg SM is its silence.
Just shut the f, this is corny. Anyway, sorry, the bike itself. That toolkit doesn't need to be in there like that. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say most people that are willing to buy that bike already own those tools. One of the other things that really stood out to me was it's got that carbon fiber thing with the button right here. I think this is because in their heads they're like, oh, we're a luxury brand. Dude, put a piece of plastic there. Like the whole thing where you take the seat off and all the plastics come with it. That's a great design. I'm sure it's that necessary. On an electric bike, like how often am I like needing to rip the whole panels off the thing? But honestly, if y'all were gonna do that, why not do it the right way and do a couple Zeus fasteners so you can do it without tools? I think it was probably a bunch of engineering that wasn't really that necessary. Hi, cows. One of the things that really drives me nuts is this like phone that's a dash. I don't want a phone that's a dash. Do you guys want a phone that's a dash? That's a chunky little phone. I've held one of them. It's just a silly interface. Like I got on a Stark Varg, and I haven't told y'all this yet. I did ride one of the EX versions. Moto, the people that sell Sherco, where I got this bike from, they do Stark Varg. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that later because it was nuts. It was like a full 80 horsepower version. Definitely some redeeming things about this. But when you turn the bike on, if you're actually trying to get your dash up, like your range, power mode, you gotta wait for the phone to boot up, and then you have to go into an app, and it's dude, this is so stupid. The phone's sideways and the apps are sideways. You have to like hit the app, that app, and it takes a second. I think it Bluetooths or something to the bike. I mean, dude, to me, like you're gonna have an electric vehicle. One of the benefits should be that I can just start it and go. But I've also seen a lot of things where the phone's problematic. Also, if you drop the bike the right way, you smash it. You smash it and it catches fire. Check out Paul's video if you want to see that. It's not. This is why I don't want a very vulnerable thing like that. I don't need it to be that expensive. I know it's electric and you think it needs to have this like super smart interface. Save me a lot of money, put a normal dash on the bike. No way. Add reverse on these electric bikes. Be like a really cool advantage you could have over doing this. I am kind of curious. I haven't been able to find yet, like what's the rim size in the rear, because they're putting a 140 on the rear, and a 140 on the rear to me says it's a 4¼ inch rim. I think if we're going to do Supermoto things, it should have a 5-inch rim on it like this one has. That opens you up to 160s. 160s is a load more tires, and we can do the ultimate cool Supermoto thing. 165 Supermoto slick on it. Ah, come on, squirrely. Which I'm gonna probably do to this one next year at some point for going to the track. Like it'd suck if you guys like went through the effort of like changing the offset and whatnot and doing like really cool Supermoto things, but put a small rim on the rear. But anyways, with it being too expensive, I mean, like if I drop this thing, if it breaks stuff, is it, you know, what does that look like cost-wise? You want to be able to throw these things into the ground and not break the bank. I did get to ride one of the EX, whatever, the dual sport versions. Oh, it's a beast. It's nuts. Anywhere from like 0 to 60 miles an hour, you can just do this and it'll wheelie, like if you're in the high power mode, like it will just come up. Electric torque is just a complete freaking animal. The bike feels light and lively, and it's very playful, silly bike. Fun factor is good, and it might be the most badass Supermoto. I might have to, with all my complaints aside, I might have to admit it's probably the best one. And you know, honestly, I hope I'm wrong. I like to be proven wrong. I like to be surprised. Prove me wrong, Stark Varg. Prove me wrong. I'm not some electric hater. I've been kind of keeping up with so much electric technology over the years because I find it interesting. You know, it's not like some Greta Thunberg style of energy where I'm like, we must have the green thing. It's a different technology, and I find it really interesting, and I think more options are better. More options, more better. I think it's a world where we have all things, you know. I want to see two-strokes on the street again, you know? Woo! Hey, like I said, this might just be rambling, being silly and old, but if I'm not wrong, you have to subscribe. I don't know. The real thing you should do is you should go check out the Patreon version of this video, which is longer, ad-free, uncensored, all that good stuff. Or you can stay right here and do that on YouTube memberships. Either or. Main thing is, though, is if you get in there, jump on my Discord so you can come in there and tell me personally how wrong I am and get in the voice chats there with me. And look, give me your thoughts on that Stark Varg. You love them, do you hate them? Think gas is the only way to go? You know, electrics are dumb. What's your take on all this stuff? I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye-bye!